first skirmish season has finally come to an end, and with this, we have reached the first Silver Age votes. Today, we're looking at what's winning, how much it's winning, and the brand new Silver Age voting process. I'm Andrew,
I'm Will.
And I'm Ning.
but first, what did we
It's a
learn
damn.
since last week?
So funny, Jeremy. I didn't actually think you'd do it. That's hilarious. Or sorry, Andrew. Go.
I mean,
go
we'll
ahead.
see. Look, we'll see how long it takes people to figure it out.
Look,
but
man, you're both good-looking Asian guys.
I appreciate the flattery.
Yeah, Will, what did you do since last week?
Oh man, so I went to a armory on Sunday, and I went 2-1 with Vincent. So
Ooh.
it did feel good playing. Now
Was it Silver Age or CC?
it was CC. Right? A lot of the guys on Sunday tend to play the CC variations. Not really big on the skirmish. But yeah, I took Vincent out. Felt pretty decent. Drew incredibly lucky against a local player, Clifton. He was a judge at one of our events. But I drew all my malefic incantations right when I needed them. So it was like 5 on the board. And that's hard to come back with. I'm trying to remember who he was playing. Because he was playing Marlin. And I historically thought that Vincent versus Marlin's favored. But from what I understand, it's whoever just gets the cards off first. Right? And I had him on the defensive until I was able to get the malefics out. Then I proceeded to beat by allocated, which was always fun. The guy keeps on showing up. Record time, he lost. And then I can't remember who I lost to. But it was close. Oh, it was Carson's Arachne not marionette.
Huntsman.
Right. I got a little nervous because it was close. Like I'm down to 3 life. He did the Sigil of Solace, drew up to 5. I was like, ugh. And by then I was kind of too low in life and couldn't finish it off. So I killed myself with the flail. So personal victory. So I guess I won against myself. So is that 3-0? But that's what I learned. It's still Vincent's good. Like it's just there's a lot of nuances and a lot of different plays you could do with it, and I feel like I'm still not unlocking this full potential. Maybe like even 50 or 55% at most.
You gotta open your third eye.
Pretty much, right? But
how about you, Ning? Did you learn anything?
So I've learned that I really suck at playing boost Teklo Vossen because
is this the boost that's been winning tournaments, like the big boost Teklo, or
so I just took the list at top 8 of the Pro Tour. So this is what I usually do in my off season. Is like I just try all the random heroes and such. So I was like playing boost Teklo Vossen, and I'm like, how in the world did this thing top 8 the Pro Tour? And Andrew's like, have you ever tried boosting your card and then drawing a card? And I was like, I keep boosting and hitting like my good cards instead of boosting away my Evos. I think that's so. It's honestly just a giant skill issue.
Yeah, because it's like a roughly like 50% chance that every banish hits if you're on like the full Evo suite plus the Ghost protocols.
So does this go back to
failing at doing that?
Does this go back to the better players draw better? Is that the type of thing, or
exactly, man?
In this scenario, it's that better players boost better, and I'm just not that good, you know.
Skill issues come for us all.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, I didn't get to attend any armories. It was quite because I was too busy attending skirmishes. We had 2 this week. First one was at Johns Creek. Ended up getting second. I lost to Thomas in the finals because boy, did I draw some awful hands in that game.
What was Tommy playing?
He was playing Icelander. He was playing the list he was working on with Damien for Yokohama. But then on Thursday, I got to go to Cards HQ for another skirmish. And that one, I had so many fun stories. So you see, I'm like walking into the store and Travis is next to me and he's like, is that Naive? And Naive's this guy from Tennessee. And I'm like, no way is Naive here. He lives like 3 hours north of here. That's not going to happen. And it was Naive. And I'm like, Naive, why are you here? And he's like, yeah, I'm just in Atlanta for the day. And I decided to just come to a skirmish. I'm like, okay, Naive, this is weird. And then round 1, I get paired against Naive. And Naive's famous for playing really stupid cards in his deck. And so he's on Dash. I'm on Ira. I go first. I get the Gadachi for 1 in, and he says no blocks. I play a Blessing of Key. So I got the high roll on turn 0. And then he goes, Fraudle, boost. Boosts over a Pummel. I'm like, oh, that's not a Met card. That doesn't have to go again. But then he's like, no worries. Activate Achilles Accelerator. Zipper hit boosts. over another pummel.
Oh god, dude.
Yeah, so I just blocked both of those out pretty easily. He does like no damage to me, and like I have my blessing of key pop. Like I throw like a solid like probably like 10 damage plus back at him, and like it's just like all downhill from there because he just like didn't have like a turn one basically,
and he didn't have pummels left either.
Yeah, no, it was and like he had wasted Achilles accelerator on it. Like your normally Dash will play Blade Beckoner boots in that matchup, so he just like started the game down 2 life just so that way he could give himself a fake insurance policy. And that, kids, is why insurance is a scam. And yeah, don't get insurance; it's a scam.
That's a good life lesson.
Yeah. No, then also speaking of Carson earlier, he was playing Terra instead of his Arachne Huntsman on account of Arachne Huntsman sucking in Silver Age.
Yeah.
And like he had me like basically beat in like fatigue, and I'm like, attack you for free, and he's like, block free, and I just played a Razor Reflex, and he's like, yeah, can't, no attack, no defense react, bro. And I'm like, did you think that would work? That's pretty cool. That was an accident.
It's still the one of Razor in that list, yeah.
Yeah, the one of Razor did magical things.
Yeah.
And
it worked for me too.
Yeah, no, then I got my revenge on Icelander in the finals, beating Andrew Cook on the exact same list that Thomas was playing, I'm pretty sure.
Nice. And this time you didn't draw like dog shit.
Yeah, no. I actually drew blue cards in my hands without like 3 other blue cards. It was literally just like repeatedly, like I look at my hand, it's like, oh wow, all reds. I cannot. It's like all reds that have cost too. It's like Bittering Thorns, Torrent of Tempo, Bluster Buff.
So
all that stuff.
How many skirmishes does this make for you, Andrew?
That's free this season.
All right, this was the first one.
2. Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, I didn't get show off this picture last week.
So you went You went second, first at your 3 skirmishes?
I went first, second, first.
Oh no, you won the other one. First, second, first. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, don't disrespect me, man.
So I didn't have to attend this skirmish because I didn't want to ruin your perfect 1-2-1 record, by making you 1-1-1 or anything else. Giving free ones, I don't know how it.
Yeah, I know. That could have been awful.
Yeah. Looks like if I accidentally say things wrong in this podcast, Ning gets the flack for it. So honestly,
yeah, dude,
that's pretty good.
You know
what?
Yeah,
no, Ning, you only got the 10-1 pocket. No,
I'm sorry. I doubted you, Andrew. I knew you got first at 2 of them.
Oh, I got a flag it up here.
So, but Andrew, I know you wanted to mention this topic ahead of time. And I'm curious, is it because you were dominating the local skirmishes that you wanted to mention this, or is it because it's topical because the timing of it, based off the skirmish season ending and second season starting? So I'm curious, why did you choose this topic specifically?
Because spoiler season is still not far enough along that we have content for stuff, and I needed to figure out what makes for good filler content, and I realized that this is actually something we should probably cover.
Okay, so based off necessity. Okay, great.
Yeah, no, literally, I just like
you can't say filler, man.
It's not really a filler, but it is a momentous occasion. It's our first, voting of the island, voting off the island, right? Like that's kind of exciting.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of those band stuff, let's talk about the quote-unquote rules for this system here. So first off here, to vote for Silver Age here, you have to have participated in a Silver Age event that completed from February 6th through May 29th, which is the current season. Mm-hmm. For this, voting is open from May 25th through May 27th, New Zealand time here. You get 1 vote, and the top 3 heroes that get the most votes will be benched for the entirety of the next season. This season will end on September 20th with the release of the next standalone booster set, not the release of the next booster set in general, because that's Mastery Pack Warrior, and that's not a real set, Mastery Pack Warrior. Let's see what else we got. Oh, and then the votes will not be public. You don't have to tell anybody who you voted for. I think that covers all the bases. There's some base I missed.
It will be done via drop down on your gem account, right?
There we go.
Was that confirmed?
Yeah, Majin Bay explained it on Pro Tour Weekly, which is the entire reason why I realized that we can talk about this.
Quick question.
I totally was thinking about this.
Let's say you play a skirmish event and you go and you drop, right? Can you still cast your vote even if you drop the event?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Another thing too is that LSS may see to bench a hero in addition to the free normal heroes they'll be choosing for votes, and I believe like that means that like they'll no longer count for the ranking. So we could potentially see 4 whole heroes get benched for this season.
Okay. And to clarify, LSS may bench a hero, doesn't necessarily mean they will. Okay, I got you. Interesting. Jeremy, what's your? I'm sorry, not Jeremy. The new Ning. Right? What's your thoughts on? What's your thoughts on these hero ban systems, like the rules that Andrew explained?
Well, frankly, I think it's
no. That's Andrew, and I'm Will. Get it? Frankly, anyways. Sorry, bad joke.
This is just the most unique kind of like ban system I've ever seen out of TCG. Like I mean, I'd be happy to be wrong, but I've never seen a game put the bannings in the hands of its own players like this, and I'm just not sure what to expect. Really, my guess is just like the most popular 3 heroes might get banned now, but really, like then we're delving into player psychology, and it's kind of weird.
Whoa, you want to talk about particular reasons why a hero may be banned?
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Like, okay, what would be your personal take on banning heroes? Like for me, it's probably I would just go for most popular or most represented, right? Just so I could shake up the meta. That's how I would kind of like pick my choice. But you only get 1 vote, right? So
yeah, so you can make it count.
Yeah. Jeremy, what's your initial take on that? Like, how would you choose to ban a hero? Is it the thing that touched you badly, or is it like you just didn't like the cut of the jib?
Yeah, for me, it's about interest, really. Like, I don't want to see. So, like, I think I would. It's more likely for me to vote for the most popular thing because I just don't want to keep seeing the same heroes. And given the current state of the format, then that would be Ira, right? She is arguably the most powerful deck, and also by the numbers the most popular right now. And,
I believe, Will, you have the technology to show us the results of the first 2 weeks of skirmishes.
I sure do. I mean, let's just go back to this beautiful picture. Right, and that's our lovely Sean on the left, Tommy from Siblings or Card Guys, Andrew from our lovely Tunic Counter Gamers, and the lovely person on the floor getting stomped would be, I believe his name is Zach.
His name is John.
I keep on calling him Zach. John, I'm so sorry, brother. I was so confident.
Yeah, you're so bad at this.
I know you're here. I know even how you whipped my ass, dude. But like, I'm sorry, John.
Yeah, no, he did that too by like just playing a KO pre-con. Like he literally like walked in and like Sean was like, "Shit, I left my deck at home." And Sean's like, "Oh, you could borrow my deck. I'll just play a KO pre-con." And Sean's like, "Oh, okay, I'll buy you like a box of compendium for you to like look for cards for." And he made top 4 doing that.
Gosh, you guys. All right,
this is week 1. Well. You keep calling me Jeremy.
Yeah,
I know, Ning. I'm sorry. You know, all you Asians look the same. I can't say that. I'm half Korean, by the way, so I can't say that. I'm not getting canceled. That's true, actually. Actually,
just because you have an excuse doesn't mean it's all right.
Ning did tell me that before too. All right, joking aside.
Will's getting canceled on this episode, guys.
All right. So this is week 1. Do you want me to bring up week 1 and then week 2, or do you just want to cover week 1 first?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you like look over here at like week 1,
they're
like,
pretty. Yeah, I think they're pretty similar. I don't think they're
like we have Ira as the big one. This one's like Ira, Briar, Icelander, KO, and then this one's Ira, Icelander, Kano, Oldhim. And we have like KO and Briar still up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one thing I will say that something to keep in mind about this is that Icelander and Kano are both wizards and like have like a fairly similar overlap. If you look at like the rest of the heroes on here, they tend to, not have a lot in common with other things. Like Oldhim, for example, is like the Fatigue Guardian, while like you have Balda, Bravo, Flatter, and Showman taking up the like more aggressive Guardian stance. We have Briar as the aggro Runeblade, Florian as more defensive Runeblade. We have Ira as the good ninja, as the bad ninja, and so like.
Now, is this Fi playing the traditional one, or is this Kodachi Fi? Because that's the difference between being.
I don't actually know. I believe it's like a combination of both.
Okay.
Oh boy.
But you have to bring it up. Yeah, you have to make sure we talked about that for Jeremy. I know he's not with us right now, but don't want him to feel forgotten.
Going back to week 1 though.
yeah. So like you'll note like across these, for the most part, it's very clear that big power heroes are Ira and the Wizards.
So you were mentioning earlier, and I so really cut you off, Andrew. But what would be your reason for banning hero? But what are the reasons for a particular hero to be banned?
So we already talked about like just banning things because you're sick of playing against it, because that makes sense. Like other major reasons, you may just ban a deck for being too powerful. That's what LSS did to Shane last season, and Shane was, very clearly a problem, and so they're like, let's just take him out back and shoot him for a bit first. Other things too will be like play patterns. The biggest offenders for like boring play patterns, for like better description, are fatigue decks and I'd say Wizards right now. Like Oldhim is a deck where very often it doesn't matter as much how you are as a player as much as it matters how much you tech for fatigue in deck construction. And it just like very often makes a game come down to like, is your deck capable of beating Oldhim, less than like, are you as a player capable of like beating Oldhim or like some degree of luck in a game. And for a lot of people, that tends to be fairly boring. And that's why people despise Oldhim a lot. Like the other big ones are like Kano and Icelander, because of the way the arcane damage works. Sometimes like, Icelander kills you on turn 2 and you're like, why? Why did this happen? Why, God? Why do you hate me? And like, it's not like you could have done anything about it. It's like they literally just like draw up and they're like, oh, cool, I'm going to go Scar for Scar Wounded Bull. I've dealt 12 damage to you. Your turn. You're like, okay, I'll do 16 damage back to you with my 5-card hand or whatever. And they're like, okay, no blocks for any of it. My turn again. Scar for Scar Wounded Bull or whatever. Arsenal pass. And then you like do anything on your turn and they're like, Stir the Aetherwoods, Crucible of Aetherweave, Red Emeritus Scolding, Snapback, screw you, you're dead. And like you can't do anything about it. Like it just happens. And like it leads to like a lot of games coming down to like, did Icelander draw the Stir? Did she reveal like a blue or red to the Ravenous Rabble? And then like Kano has like the thing where it's like, did they hit Absorbent Aether off the top of the blind Kano? Did they hit a red off the top? And like a lot of people don't like that sort of play pattern. But one unique thing I actually had come up here was Naive. I asked him who he's voting for, and he told me that he wants to vote for Briar to troll LSS because they're about to release a precon for Briar. It would be really funny if Briar wasn't legal when it came out. And honestly, that's really, really tempting. Not gonna lie.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, so succinctly, it would be what? Based off the power level, based off the way they played, based off of your touched badly or trauma, the overall representation, or like you said, to really just troll LSS, which that would be such a dick move. I love it, right? But I don't know. You only get one vote. I'm not sure if I want to. That's interesting though. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I want to call it a waste. Like,
well, that's
Briar
true.
is the kind of hero that can do that. And Briar can like lead some pretty annoying games sometimes where Briar like just goes second and just rolls you over.
So when you said to troll SS, I thought, oh, let's ban Olympia, right? Or some hero that's never played, to showcase that the issue with Silver Age still predominantly resides in only maybe like the top 10 heroes are here and the rest kind of fall off to obscurity. That's why I would think. But to actually ban based off the precon is kind of hilarious. Well, anyways.
Yeah, no, that was a funny idea, sis. So yeah, now that we've like talked about our particular stuff, who will you guys vote for? Because let's see, yeah, Will, you participated in Battle-Hardened, Showdown in Memphis. You have the ability to vote.
So man, it's kind of ironic because I want to say this real quick. You know how sometimes people will vote because, or like, I don't have to vote for Ira, right? So I'm gonna vote for my second choice because I know everyone else is going to vote for Ira, right? But if everyone thinks that way, then that's going to skew the result.
Are you saying that we should implement like ranked voting for?
No. I'm saying like, okay, because if I really don't like 2 or 3 heroes, I was like, okay, well, obviously people are going to vote for the most popular. Like what Jeremy said earlier, he's going to vote for the one he wants to shake up the meta, just like me. But I'm going to rely on Jeremy to vote for Ira. But Jeremy might think the same thing. If that's the case, then I'm going to vote for, like, I don't know, let's say Icelander, right? Randomly. My vote is for Ira, by the way, regardless, because I just like to take the one that's predominantly winning and just throw her out, right? Ban her for a season, see what else shakes up, right? But that's how I would pursue it. But
I mean, that hypothesis depends on, TCG players actually having the forethought to to go that many
Stop
steps ahead.
metagaming voting. Yeah, what's the democracy metagame? What's the highest CV?
So, Jeremy, you don't think that's possible, like, for them to do that? And then, I mean, I'm sure that, like, the top most votes would be like that. Like, Ira will still get voted out regardless because she's the popular hero. And people are just going to be tired of seeing her, right?
Yeah.
But you're saying, like, let's say 95% of the people vote for Ira, arbitrary number, and the rest of the 5% is just so scattered, and we're going to get some weird votes off for the last two heroes.
I will say, I think there's, if you want to follow your logic of most people will vote for Ira, therefore I'll vote for my second most hated, I actually don't think that's a bad line of logic, because I don't think there's too many people actually considering that. You know what I mean?
Fair.
So, but maybe I'm underestimating the intelligence of Flesh and Blood gamers. So, you know, maybe we really do need to metagame this.
Wow, Ning, say it like you feel it, Ning.
Yeah,
man, why is Ning
somebody
towards
who
memes
has
towards
participated in a
Flesh and Blood?
singular skirmish playing Zen? Who do you think needs and nothing else? You have played 0 Pro Tours. Or...
I'm so sorry, Ning.
That's what happens when you don't show up, I guess. Your nap goes too long. Anyways.
Yeah, your doppelganger starts spouting some bullshit.
No, it's hey.
The Green Goblin masks come over him.
I like where you're going. I like where you're going. If you want, I could kind of do the obscurity bubble over your face, Ning. But I'm just joking.
Do we need to like censor your voice or whatever? Add like the distortion to it, like they do on like To Catch a Predator.
So,
oh no,
Ning, who are you voting for? I am truly curious. Is it going to be like what you said earlier?
Yeah, I think for representation purposes, Ira. Like I don't like playing mirrors that much, or necessarily playing against the same hero like a bajillion times. Like at the Pro Tour, 4 out of my 6 rounds was Ira.
Yeah. Now, Andrew,
I brought Ira to the Pro Tour also, so like.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about, because Andrew, before you answer, Jeremy, Ning, Ira is your hero, but you're willing to cast a vote against your hero. That's like me saying I want to ban KO. I mean, there's possibility, but you're saying you're doing that for the health of the game because you understand what this deck particularly does for the meta. Is that kind of where your thoughts are?
Well, here's the thing: is I did bring Ira to the Pro Tour, but it was kind of begrudging. Like, okay. In most of the time I do tend to just play what I like, and I've usually stood by that. But I was at the point where I was like, it's Silver Age. I just want to make it back to the CC rounds. I'm just going to play the best deck, the most, or not necessarily the best deck, but it was the most. It had the flattest matchup spread in my opinion. So I was just like, I'll play Ira. And then I got to the Pro Tour and I played 4 Ira mirrors and 6 aggro mirrors, and that was my Silver Age experience, and that was it. And so I didn't actually enjoy playing Ira that much. Not that my games were like bad or good necessarily. It's just that I think we should just curb that a little bit. So I'm citing representation as just the main reason to ban Ira.
See, that's very understandable. Now, me personally, I'm voting for Briar because Naive convinced me so hard. Such a good job. Like, he said it, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? That sounds great. Like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if it literally just ends up being like Ira, Icelander, Kano for like the bans and all that. But like, bro, if we could just hit Briar, have a like deck come out, and like new players are like, yeah, I like her. The store owner has to be like, oh no, don't do that one. Okay, no hippies.
You know, all that being said, if you take into account what Ning said, what you said, and what I'm saying, it very well could be that Briar does get a ban. In which case, I wonder what happens to the Briar Silver Age deck, right? Because you know, people are thinking, oh well, you know, I don't have to take my primary vote, Ira, seriously. So that's going to be off the table anyways. People are going to vote for it. You know what I'm going to do? You know, because I listened to this podcast, Tunic Counter Gamers, and Andrew said such a good point because of Neve. You know, I'm going to vote for Briar. Yeah, fuck Briar. Because she touched me badly when I first started playing Silver Age, to the point where they had to go back and reban a few things, right?
Yeah, no, there's like a lot of people that will probably have like played like 1 skirmish this season, but they'll remember like ProQuest season where they got like turn 0 like lightning pressed on a snatch, and they're like, never again, get her out.
Yes, exactly my point. Like, because their first experience with skirmish, the first experience with Silver Age was the ProQuest, and how many Briars were running around at the time, even though they kind of, I think that was before the bans. but people still remember that piece, and they're like, oh, Briar's the one that was predominant in my net, but I want to get her out regardless of what this is saying. But
so that being said, what do you guys think like the community in general will vote for? Personally, I think it's going to be like Ira first, Kano second, and then third place will either be Icelander or Briar. How about you guys?
So I'm actually writing this down because I want to refer back to this when the next season comes out. So Andrew, your prediction is Ira first, right? Then your second one was Kano, and your third one was Icelander.
It's Icelander or Briar, I think, are going to be the third.
Okay.
Like, they're going to be very close.
If guns ahead, you had to pick one to keep it fair.
I don't want to hit Briar more, okay? Because I'm voting for Briar. I like to believe that my vote matters.
Okay, so
hold on. I just realized something really funny. Hold on, I get my prop for this. You carry on without me.
Okay.
Okay. So he said he's going to still vote for Briar. So Icelanders. So it's Ira, Kano, Briar for the community picks from Andrew. Ning?
Yeah, I forgot I had this lying around.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
The I voted.
Oh, why did I think about this an hour ago?
It's okay. It's okay. We can I'm sure we can edit it. In fact, we can all have stickers.
I have mine around here somewhere.
Who's editing? Who's editing this? We'll just make Will slap it on everyone. Extra work for him.
Yeah. I would just say to the audience that's listening, just imagine that all of us are wearing the Georgia I voted stickers. And for our visual appeal players, just look at Andrew and imagine it's on all of us.
That is better. That is less work than editing.
Yeah, power of imagination. Who's your community vote? Who do you think you are going to say?
So I think I'm actually gonna cite Ira for sure because she stands on top in terms of just number of players playing her. But I think I'm actually going to go with Kano and then Oldham next, purely because I know they're not the most pleasant to play against. And I don't know if we touched on that too much. I know we cited Trauma, but I think they are heroes with quote unquote problematic playstyles, or at least playstyles that players don't necessarily like engaging with, regardless of how much you actually like or dislike their playstyles.
Yeah, though I will say, even when I beat Oldham, I still feel like I lost.
Yeah, it's that deck just generally plays towards fatigue, and it's not something most people like. So I think my guess is Ira, Kano, and Oldham, but I do actually see valid arguments for Briar and KO.
So actually, that's funny you mentioned that, Jeremy. Mine was Ira, Kano, KO. All right, community votes. Because each of these are different metas that were kind of prominent and well played across the board. So if you look at the different snapshots of popularity from the start of season one to the end of season, until the start of the next season, all three of these kind of had that, it's widespread, So I'm thinking that these are the three that's going to get voted off.
Yeah, something I probably should have mentioned now is you may be wondering why we don't have week freeze data. That's because we're recording this 2 days before it comes out.
Nice.
Probably should have mentioned that earlier, but
Yeah, we'll kind of recover. We'll talk about it a little bit, but I don't foresee this chart changing by much.
Yeah, I mean, we had a decent bit of changing in comparison of week 1 to week 2. Icelander ended up moving up a good bit. Briar and KO went down a good bit.
Yeah. So I mean, with all that being said, though, with Blaze coming out in the third or the next season, do you think that all the wizards being in wouldn't even matter because we're all going AB tech anyways, right? With 3 wizards being prominent, or that's
I think that'd actually be decently fun to have a season where we're down on Kano and Icelander, and we end up having Blaze as the generic wizard hero, and potentially we see Acilio come up with the Omens of the Third Age cards to power him up, or we see potentially Verdance do something, although I don't expect that to happen.
Well, we'll see who's right, though. It's going to be in a few weeks.
To the future, eventually. Yeah. But, that's it for the banning section for heroes. But there's a different ban list that, we didn't even talk about here. And that is the actual card legality ban list, And for this, there's one particular card I actually feel I really want to see gone, having played in these skirmishes, and that is Scar for Iskar. If you look at these, the meta charts, Scar for Iskar is instantly stapled in Ira, it's stapled in Icelander. Briar, Kane, like they've all played them. They're all like very high power card like decks right now. And like a lot of that can't just be because like they're a good Scar for a Scar shell. And so like if you're trying to play an aggro deck, you have to compete with like these better Scar for a Scar shells. And it's like a powerful generic.
Yeah, and if you're trying to get like numbers that are superior, and those superiors got to jump through hoops, then Scar for Scar is not that much jumping through a hoop to get the go again for 0 cost, you know?
Yeah, generally you want your players to play with like powerful effects like this after like going through an individual hoop. But with the way Silver Age works, you actually lose access to this if you have to go through hoops. Like KO cannot play this card because it doesn't have 6 power or 5 power, let's be real. Like, and you can't play it in Dash, for example, because it's a generic. Ning, got any ideas on Scar for a Scar? You think this card?
No, I don't hate this idea at all, right? Like part of the thing about banning these just generically good generics is that they brew homogenous effects. So like the same reason why like Baby Sigil of Solace or like Sink and Fate, and I know that's like a different spectrum because those are defensive cards, but like if they were legal, everybody would run them, right? And a lot of the best aggro decks running Scar for a Scar is kind of the same problem, just in the opposite direction. So I can actually kind of see it.
Yeah, it would also do the same thing that we want, was to shake up the meta and kind of gravitate people toward their own like cards within their class that does these powerful effects. So I think banning Scar for Scar does make a lot of sense, Andrew.
Yeah, another thing too to consider too is we're about to get Shane back, but we know something from Shane has to get hit. So what cards do you think would get hit to rein in Shane a bit?
Oh boy, I think his hero power is just too powerful.
Well, I guess that's the question. Like, so they're bringing back Chain, but not a lot of things have changed in Silver Age since they banned Chain in the first place. And what they're saying in Omens of the Third Age will give enough tools to Silver Age where Chain won't be an issue. I don't know if...
No. What they said is they're going to ban something in Chain to make him weaker.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if that's the case, any of the defensive Runechant cards might work, but I don't think that's going to be... Yeah, I don't think that's going to be why Chain was powerful in the first place. Chain's ability to do Soul Shackles and play cards from the Banish Zone, right?
Yeah, I don't think that's exactly a problem. I think the main issue is his interaction with the Rune Gate mechanic, personally. Yeah. Like, I think, like, if you were playing Bounding Demigons, people would be like, this is cool. He played a Mauvrion Skies, so you can play a 0 for 2 with Go Again, on hit, make free Rune Chants that I'm going to block with 2 pieces of Blade Beckoner equipment, and then I'm going to kill him. Yeah. Like, personally, like, what I think we're going to see get hit is Read the Runes. Read the Runes is, like, the primary Rune Chant generator that allows for Chain to really power out like a lot of the Rune Gates. It allows for a lot of his very strong 1-card hands. You could just block with like 2 to 3 cards, flip over like Deathly Whale or Deathly Delight, go like activate Chain, read the runes, send. And yeah, like it's really hard to beat a guy that's able to just poop out like 1-card like 9s.
And the reason why Read the Runes is so deadly with Chain is because this naturally the drawback to this is doesn't have natural go again. So you create 3 rune chance, you pass in the turn. But because you're saying Chain's ability where your next Rune Blade or Shadow Action card gets go again, well, it's Read the Runes has go again, right? With Chain's ability.
Yeah, and another thing too is Read the Runes has seen some play in Florian. We haven't seen Florian see too much success this season. Part of that, I believe, is because he has a abysmal matchup into the Wizards. And so if we see like a Read the Runes ban, that can do a lot to like weaken him, because that is one of the most toxic decks in Flesh and Blood, is just stack Florian. That deck is so not fun.
Oh man, so I kind of want to jump to one of the questions I had toward the end of the podcast, but we're going to keep it to Chain. Do you think Chain is still going to be an issue? Like, we saw Briar being a good numbers deck in the beginning. So even if you ban Read the Runes, do you think that will take Chain down to enough where, you know, he'll be less powerful than Ira, like as far as representation goes at these major events?
Yeah, I think there's a possibility of that. Like another thing is too is like we're just talking about like 1 card here. Like they don't have to ban 1 card. They've probably like actually been actively testing and LSS to figure out if hitting Read the Runes is enough to really hold him back. Like, there is a very real possibility that they hit both Reduce to Runechant and Read the Runes, and then like the best Runechant generator is like Spellblade Assault, and then like we're not even talking about certain things. But like one of the big things too about Read the Runes is that's one of why are you bringing up Blasphemous?
Because I don't know. I typed in Reduced, and that's the first card that came up for whatever reason, and I think I put a space somewhere I shouldn't have. I had no clue.
Yeah, but Read the Runes is like the primary way to get up to free rune chants pretty easily. Forcing Shane to like have to fight to get past past 2 rune chant barrier means it's a lot harder to rune gate, and like therefore it creates a lot more tension in it while still allowing Vincent to exist to an extent. But yeah,
and Deadwood Dirge is already banned, right?
Yeah, Deadwood Dirge is already banned.
Yeah, okay.
But Reduced to Rune Chant,
it's going to be interesting. Yeah, especially the thing about Chain is that, right? Keep in mind is for this first competitive season of Silver Age, like this is the hero that Elsa said, "Hey, we're benching him. He's too strong." So, like Andrew said, I do imagine there's some things in the works where they're monitoring, so that when he's back in the metagame, they know what to ban out of him to keep him in line. So we'll just have to see where it shakes out. But I'm still willing to bet he's still going to be powerful. Like, they banned so much stuff out of Briar, and she's still near the top of the metagame.
Well, and it also kind of makes me ask, like, so why would people play Vincent when Chain's coming back? You know, because Chain's just the better Vincent, right?
So if they end up making it so that Shane doesn't want to RuneGate anymore, Vincent and Shane will have very different play patterns.
Okay, so you're saying that the the banned cards that they potentially will come out with will kind of shake up the playstyle, hopefully, right?
Yeah, like realistically, like what I expect is they will like hit the RuneGate playstyle enough to force you to like have to play Bounding Demigod and Riftbind together, and like those are fun cards to play with. Okay, like if you're complaining about like a 1 for free that has the ability to be like a 1 for 5 or whatever, like come on, man.
I will be more negative here and say I don't think there'll be a reason to play Vincent, but
yeah, I mean,
like maybe I just buy into Chain's power too much.
Yeah, the issue with Vincent though is that she also still sucks, but yeah.
She saw some wins. She picked up some skirmish wins, so it's not too bad, right?
Yeah.
And I brought up Rift the Torrent because I was curious what the card looked like. I'd never seen it played, so ignore that for our viewers. I was just curious.
Yeah. Another card I could see the potentially hitting would be Fyndal's Fighting Spirit.
Yeah, we were talking about Scar for a Scar. That makes sense.
Yeah, like it's just like, yeah, basically, I'm pretty sure the only generic life gain card they really want in this format is Arcane Polarity as like a good generic answer to arcane damage, because like it's just so hard to answer arcane damage in 20 life formats relative to like CC. But you know, that's Arcane Polarity. Let's talk about Fyndal's Fighting Spirit. But like this card is like probably the last like super good way to gain life. And so it plays a lot into allowing fatigue strategies to exist. It also allows for a lot of obnoxiousness in Wizard, where like, you know, this card's supposed to be balanced around the idea that like you need to have less life, and Wizard's balanced around the idea that you have less life. Fyndal's Fighting Spirit lets you bypass that a lot. So like I could see it getting hit. And then like, you know, in fatigue, it's so obnoxious.
And one of the triggers for Fyndals versus the other life gain is this doesn't have to hit the graveyard for you to gain 1 life. As soon as you block or attack with it, you gain that 1 life, right? Which is something small, but it's noticeable, you know. Ning, what's your thoughts on Fyndal's fighting? I mean, I'm curious because you played the big leagues, right?
I don't actually feel too strongly about this one, but the thing is, like, I see the points about it being, you know, being a universal card in a lot of these decks, and like I believe Sirens is banned, right? They banned
Sirens with Safe Harbor, they've banned Fiddler's Green, they've banned Sigil of Solace. Like it's very clear that they don't want.
So it's in the same realm. So I actually don't hate it, but I also don't feel too strongly about it.
Yeah, like I don't think it's a problem right now, but I'm surprised it's legal because it very much feels like the kind of card that their philosophy is against.
Yeah, that's what I would say too.
It could be like Scar for Scar, and then this one has a little bit more of a hoop to jump through. Right, then 0 cost, like you have to pitch a card, so you got to have, you know, I can see this one standing around. Or you block with it, right? But then if you block with it, it's just a 3 block, right? Which is on par with your value. but if you attack with it, it's 2 for 8. Right? So I don't know. I can see Scar for Scar. I can see this being a maybe. Right? It just depends. But it is a good generic action attack.
Yeah. So that's what I could see getting banned. How about unbans? You guys have any cards you think LSS may?
So I did, and I don't know if this is going to be a good thing or a bad thing, but I said Vigorous Smashup. If KO gets banned, there's no reason. I think Vigorous Smashup can come back. I actually don't see an issue with this card personally, right? But what do you guys think? Like, they banned it because the Vigor token was supposedly so strong, but I don't think that's an issue. I mean, it does let us have that defensive play, and it's a
if KO's gone, I don't see it as an issue.
Yeah.
With KO out, the problem with this card is you just play like the blues and maybe the yellows, and like you just like block with Vigorous Smash up in another card, then you go like Wild Ride into Claw, and that's like a 2-card 10. So like, and you block like 6, that's a 4-card 16. That's pretty obnoxious.
Yeah. So if KO goes because of public voting or because LSS decides to, speaking of, when we cast our votes, so we're assuming that LSS is not going to throw out any card or any character.
It's too much thought to actually go into this at all, so I'm not going to do it.
Okay, fair. But I feel like if KO goes, Vigorous Smashup can come back out. If KO stays, Vigorous Smashup is going to stay banned.
Okay, I actually agree with the sentiment.
Yeah, I can see that thing as well. Personally, one card I can see potentially getting unbanned would be Steelblade Shunt. They like banned Steelblade Shunt because for some reason they didn't give us reasons because they don't do that for Silver Age apparently. But like this was a card that was like a 6 of in like Decimator Great Axe. And like this card is so obnoxious to play against, I might add.
Yeah.
But like banning it has like basically made Warrior fall off the face of the earth. Like you'll see if you look at like the meta share, there's like no Warriors in it. That being said,
was that because of DGA being not as good and compared to the other Warrior? Like, couldn't Dory still do the escalation momentum? I know it's a little bit of a speedier format for her to really go online and get the value, but she wouldn't really run as many Steelblade Shunts if she's going Dawnblade plan, right? Or Splendid Dawnblade. Because that's a natural go again on that card anyways, right?
Dude, I don't even know what that Dawnblade does.
I only know because Noah from Siblings played it on me before. I was like, what is that card? Right?
It's a card that's not even realistically playable yet.
Yeah.
Like like the way things currently are, you can't actually play it in Silver Age because it's not technically legal because of rarities, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But after the demo that comes out, they will be legal. Yeah, one thing I will say about the Steelblade Shunt thing is that we do know that there's going to be Mastery Pack Warrior coming out soon, and they may like not want to buff up Warrior before that because James White wakes up every morning and decides that he wants to make Joshua allow Malt harder. Like he has like a shrine to like Joshua's anger, and he's like, I must feed the beast.
You didn't know that's how he heats up his coffee in the morning. He funnels Joshua and all the Warriors players' angers into like a little hot pot, and he's just like, oh, the tears.
I never considered that. Maybe he like warms like his coffee with it.
Yeah.
This is how we're solving energy. Yeah, the thing about Shunt is that it was banned because of DGA, I think.
Yeah.
Warrior decks, like all viable Warrior decks were Decimator Great Axe, and part of the math of it is just the Great Axe is difficult to block, and then once you're in late game scenarios, Shunt kind of makes it impossible for weapon decks to win that late game. So that's why
it's already pretty hard to play a weapon deck in this format just because the Blade Beckoner equipment existing.
Yeah, because of the Blade Beckoner.
Yeah, one thing I learned so fast playing Ira right now is, goddamn, do I hate that Blade Beckoner equipment?
Because everybody has like +2 or +3 life against you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like look at the Wizards and they're like, hi, my opponent starts the game with 5 less life because they have to play Arcade Barrier against me.
Yep.
Meanwhile, as Ira, you're like, why do you have to start with 5 extra life or whatever?
What about that one equipment that gets +3 when you have no cards in your hand?
Unyielding Grip, the one that Kano plays?
Yeah, that shit's irritating against a freaking brute.
I mean, it's just good in general. Like you give the 15 life wizard 3 extra health is just good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Like if they actually like wanted to hold back on Kano, this is like a pretty good one to hit. And like this is very clearly going to probably see playing Blaze.
Yeah.
This is like a fantastic Blaze card because of Blaze. It's pretty easy to just block with Unyielding Grip, play an Absorbent Aether, activate Blaze, send your spell.
Yeah. So do you think DGA coming back out? I'm sorry, Steelblade Shunt being unbanned and DGA being prominent again. Do you think that's going to do anything with these heroes we mentioned potentially being banned? Like, do you think that gameplay is going to be obnoxious like they was previously? That's the reason why they banned it. Do you think DGA will run the gambit again, or do you think it's not an issue?
I think like it'd be meta relevant again, especially with if they end up hating on the Wizards. That being said, this is like something I think is fairly unlikely to see unbanned.
Yeah,
because like it's just such a toxic card, and like they're about to power up Warrior anyway. Might as well wait a bit.
I remember when I was
the
like,
thing is, sorry, you go.
no, Jeremy, please.
Ning.
I mean, I was just saying that if you unban Shunt, then you're taking away Warrior's only achievement, right? Like, Warrior has no LL heroes, and finally they have the honor and privilege of getting a card banned from their class, and then you're gonna take it away from them again.
Oh man, I bet you, Mr. White's coffee's boiling over right now with all the hatred.
Oh yeah. I just had like another card come up that I think.
Oh, what's that card?
I don't know what they do. Okay, what are your thoughts on banning Bonds of Ancestry?
Yeah, is for the ninjas? I mean, does Ira play this?
No,
Wait,
Ira wouldn't play this.
Isn't it already banned, actually?
Yeah, it's banned currently. I'm talking about is unbanning it.
Oh, unbanning it.
Because right now, Katsu and like Zen are very clearly not good. And this would do a lot to make them better. The question is, would it be too much?
Maybe for Katsu, because he was built around Bonds being with his hero attacks, right?
No, Katsu came out years before Bonds of Ancestry, and then they're like, holy shit, this hero sucks. Let's print a card that makes him not suck.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Katsu was an outsider, so Bonds was kind of for him in a sense, actually.
Yeah, it was made so that way, like, you know, like whenever an old man takes Viagra, it's kind of like that, where like they're like, all right, you're having difficulty getting it up now. We got you, dog. Here you go.
I'm just saying, a limp dick is still a dick, right? But you're right. It's better if it's hard, right? And Bonds of Ancestry will definitely provide that hardness.
Yeah, like I don't know if this card would actually be a problem or not if it was unbanned. Is like the thing. Like I want to say yes because this card is insane and it's like a 0 for 8 or whatever. But on the other hand, you know, would I be mad for Katsu being good? Not really.
I mean, but Katsu would still have some natural predators too, I guess. Like Guardians aren't going to go away.
Yeah, like this card is still like bad against like the Guardians.
Yeah.
And like it still requires a bit of setup. Like you need to actually get Bonds of Ancestry targets, and then you have to like thread the needle and stuff on it to get the lineup to really work.
I mean, I don't hate it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think people's memory on Bonds is too long, and they're taking it from Blitz and maybe even CC and just like pitting their trauma on Silver Age. I mean, it would be interesting if it was. I don't see because they said they'll ban quickly, they could unban quickly, right, and vice versa. So, we made a mistake, let's reban it again. I want to hate that play.
You know, this sounds like it could be a fun season. Yeah, we have the season where we just have Bod Zed versus Boomer Shade. Let's go.
Well, actually, that's a great segue, Andrew, for my question I was saving. I have to ask. All right, so after season 1. Do you think Silver Age did what LSS set it out to do? Did it bring in new players? Did it shake up and bring in a new competitive format? Because that's the way they were pitching it for like a year, right? Since they announced it back in last summer. Did it do its job?
I will say locally, I have seen 0 new players that are hyped about Silver Age, which is kind of sad. Like, I really thought, like, you know, at least one person would have been interested.
No, there's some people asking, or I've seen some voices in the Discord asking about whether people can meet up to play Silver Age, though, right? Or do you mean,
I've seen people like ask about like meeting up to play it, but like I haven't seen like people be like, "Let's go play Silver Age, boys."
So I know a couple of our regulars on Sunday thought they don't like how only very specific, maybe top 10, top 15 heroes out of the 38 plus that they have, 40 plus that they have, is only playable, and the rest is dog crap, right?
I mean, how many heroes like have to be playable before like they're satisfied is like something to consider, because like you can only have so many playable decks before the format isn't a real format.
Yeah, I can see that too. So you're saying that in their case, you know, you're not going to have all decks going to be playable. Like, so having 10 plus, 15 plus playable heroes is the achievement. But do you think the competitive players, the players in our area, they're kind of down on Silver Age, and that kind of bleeds over to how that affects new players trying to play Silver Age, right? We're not playing Silver Age in our
Yeah.
armories on a regular basis. Skirmish definitely didn't bring in new Silver Age players, and really, like Andrew, Jeremy, no knock to your guys' achievements. You play the game, you play it very well, and a new player playing against you, they pay $15 to get a gem pack and a random chance to get a raffle for a mat or a hero. It's really still not set up to be new player friendly,
Yeah, one thing I will say about this is very critical of local stores for charging more for an event, and then because their prize support was all free, they didn't have to pay for these events whatsoever. It was literally straight profit for their stores to run the event, and they didn't do like any of their normal prize support.
I know, I hate that, dude. No price, like no booster packs or nothing. Right?
Yeah, like I like understand if they like didn't want to like offer additional prize support for top 4 or top 8, but to offer like nothing for like Swiss means that like basically they're setting themselves up for failure and asking like people to be like, hey man, please don't come.
Yeah, because even if they did, for every entry is a pack per entry, and if we have this many people, we'll give 2 packs. So pretty much you're just forcing people to buy packs, right? And at $15, the gem pack plus 2 packs, I'll turn out for that. I mean, if I could. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Andrew. I heard that people, that was also there was, they didn't perceive value in that.
Yeah, no, I'm like, yeah, it's like really annoying to like have stores charge more than like what they normally do. Be given product from LSS to like have these events and then do a worse job than they normally have. Like I'm pretty sure like if they had just run a normal armory, like some of them would have had higher attendance because like there would have been better prize support for anybody that wasn't able to win. And like, I have like the issue where like for me, like this was insanely profitable.
Yeah.
And like it's not an issue that impacts me, but I hate it.
I mean, and it's no knock against the players. Like I like the challenge of playing against good players. It's how I learn faster, right? And you guys, any good player I played against will always walk you through like after the game, hey, you should have done this or this is the better play. But like if Silver Age, I guess that's the thing. Like we're talking about the first season coming to end, and I remember the hype that this was back in December and November, and even initially, oh, this is going to be an influx of new players coming in. I didn't see that. Jerm, did you see that too? Like
not like that much. I do think we actually got like maybe 1 or 2 newer players, but not to the extent that we were expecting, I say.
Like I think like this was like LSS's like really good opportunity to just like give out stupid prize support that like normally they wouldn't do just to like get players' attentions. Like I remember when we had our first RTN season, first place was like an EA RF Tunic, and like those things are worth thousands of dollars now. Even at the time they were easily over 1K, and like that's a really good way to get people to play your game is be like, hey, look, here's a tournament, you win it, you get $1,000.
But I guess even like the building up to the skirmish season, there was no entry to new players or no like learn how to play, because it would have been good. Like, hey, you can enter this tournament, you can randomly win stuff, or you can even make tops playing this basic deck, and then you could take this trade bait potentially because of the booster packs you get or the gem support you get, and build on your deck further. But I didn't see any of that integration here either. So I guess overall, I say it was like kind of a neutral gain overall. That's my personal take, but they didn't really accomplish the goal I thought they were setting up to do. But it certainly wasn't a flop like people thought it could possibly. I think they handled it really well.
I'll say this. So like we've hashed this a lot about bringing in new players, but ultimately it is a little bit anecdotal to our area.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to like beat into the ground too much. So frankly, I'm not entirely sure where LSS stands on this bringing in new players. What I will say though, and I have to give LSS props for, is I actually think this was a interesting competitive format. Like it has the flaws of a low life young hero format. Like that is true. Like when you play a bunch of aggro mirrors, you definitely feel this. The low life doesn't help it. But the meta evolved in ways I wasn't expecting. Like I actually thought there was real player ingenuity and on a competitive scale. And if I may like recap my like Pro Tour testing experience, basically when the set started is they announced the bans where they basically gutted Briar, right? Before the Pro Tour, and everybody's like, oh, this is gonna be Pro Tour Yokohama is just gonna be KO the format. Right. And and then what ended up happening is Calling Shanghai happened, and that's when all the pro players started getting on Ira, which
Mhm.
shifted the metagame. And then Chris Iali, sorry, it was a Silver Age calling. Everybody started getting on Ira, and then Chris Iali won it with Briar, the deck that we thought was absolutely gutted. And I was very surprised too. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And then what's interesting about Ira being at the top of the Yokohama meta is you got some very interesting innovation. So, or actually, previous to this, it was everybody thought that Valda was going to be at the top because it was a pretty good counter to KO, and then it's shifted to Ira, and then the counter, to Ira. So like the Oldham players that ran the Ira matchup a lot and understood how to fatigue, and then actually Florian actually did okay in this specific meta. I know I played against Michael Hamilton, and I think he top 8 the Pro Tour on Florian and Silver Age, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I love playing against Ira as Florian. I feel like I'm very favored." So we found innovation there, and then Evan Herndon, who won the Pro Tour, was actually on Kano in Silver Age because it circled all the way back around because Kano looked to be bad, but then everybody started cutting their AB, and the Wizards came back.
Yeah,
and then furthermore, to underline this point, is I actually stayed with the card guys in Japan, and I told them I was playing Ira, and they're like, "Oh, we're on Icelander." I was like, "Icelander? You guys are crazy." And they're like, "No, Icelander is actually really, really good." And they were trying to talk me into Icelander. I obviously decided to vacation instead of test more, so I stayed on Ira. But
that's a good point though, and you're right. It could be very much, my thought could be very much central to this local area of ours, which the southeast region or Georgia itself. I do think though that there is a lot of innovation in Silver Age. I do think people didn't give it a fair shake because they expected something more, and I felt like it did do a fairly good job at introducing a new format that's better than Blitz. I mean, we can admit that at least, right? So
yeah, I hope my story wasn't too long-winded, but my point was just to say, like, at the pro level, there was a lot of innovation, and despite the problems of a low-life format, I found that there was actually interesting space to work. It's just that I played a bunch of Ira mirrors and got really tired of it.
Another thing too I'll talk about is we saw innovation regarding like first versus second sideboarding too. Like you'll see Blessing of Key in a lot of Ira lists. That's only played when going first or against fatigue.
Yes.
And like that's like, quite interesting and something that like I need to like look more into is like potential turn 0 high rolls as like a way to counteract the swingy nature of the die rolls in these more aggro focused formats.
Interesting. Yeah. I didn't even think about that, but you're right, because in CC you do that a lot, but usually it's, hero, roll dice, I'm going first, and you've already sideboarded out for your hero. But in Silver Age, you're saying, especially with the Ira innovation with the Blessing of Key, you would say, "Oh, I'm going first or second, and this is my sideboard now," and that happens more relevant in Silver Age.
Yeah, you'll note too that like a lot of the more powerful heroes in Silver Age are the ones that are able to get away with it. Like we have the Blessing of Key, KO has Pulping, Briar has like Arcane Seeds. You see, like the Wizards just have access to throwing like 6-7 Arcane at you turn 0. Yeah, they go Crucible, multiple, discard Photon Splicing, and you're like, oh, guess I'll block for you, take 4, play to Arcane Polarity because skill. Shout out to Sebastian getting wrecked.
But all right, so I think they answered my question. But so Jeremy, you're happy. I'm sorry, Ning, you're happy with the format. Right, you're happy with the way Silver Age is. Maybe a few tweaks going in the future, but for season 1, you're good with it.
Yeah. So don't get me wrong, I still love CC the most. Like,
I mean,
if you're gonna make me play, I would much rather play CC. But I have to admit that Silver Age is a lot deeper than I initially gave it credit for. I was going into the format being like, "Oh, play aggro mirror, go second and win." But like Andrew explained, and I'm sure we could get a lot deeper into these matchup dynamics. Like there's actually a lot more there than I expected, and so I do genuinely want to say, hey, LSS, I actually think this format.
Yeah, I think like a lot of the issues I had with the format were mainly just issues I had with Briar.
I mean, like specifically the power cards and the unfair nature of her ability
Yeah,
to have
no.
all these power turns, snatch for 11, whatever it might be. Or...
Yeah, no, like the feeling of winning the die roll against the Briar, having them go burn up Shock Ravenous Rabble, you block like 5 on it, they go Lightning Press, and you're down 6. No, you're down 7 life actually.
Yeah.
Turn 0, and they're like Arsenal Pass. You're like, well, screw me, I guess.
Yeah.
Like that was such an unfun play pattern.
Yeah, it was great for the Briar, which is why they lived for it. And oh yeah, I'm playing an unfair hero, I know it, but it's also the tools that LSS gave me. So you're saying when they toned down Briar, that's when you started enjoying Silver Age a lot more.
Yeah, like I was able to like I felt like I had a lot more real games instead of like dying to a dude going like, oh yeah, shock you, Sigil of Suffering.
Yeah.
And Sigil of Voltaris gave them so much reach too, right?
Yeah.
Did kind of go back to what you were saying earlier, Jeremy, about Ning, about the homogenous cards. When like people that have great cards are going to play those great cards. That's just the nature of trying to level out the matchups, right? So of course we cannot fault the Briar players for playing such a nice high value numbers, right? But so
now I believe making moral decisions and like ethical things regarding people's deck choice. Like we should like shame people for playing the best deck. Clearly.
Yeah. All right. I think that answered my question. I know I was trying to find the mute button so I could cough in peace. Okay, guys.
He's getting canceled.
I hope not.
He coughed on camera.
I try not to cough into the mic because it's such an aggressive sound. Like I like to listen to podcasts to fall asleep to, like hearing you guys' voices at night. This is a little TMI, I know.
Ooh,
but
you like listen to my voice when you go to sleep at night?
I love it, dude. All right.
Oh.
So
it's TMI, but I'm gonna tell the story anyways.
Yeah, because it's me. Right? Who cares, right? Ning, you love this.
I do. I love
Could
it.
do like some like pack opening ASMR for omens.
We should start doing the pack opening. But Andrew, do you got any final thoughts on this topic?
I don't know about this topic in particular. You guys got anything you want to bring up? Or you want me to wrap it up?
Hey, go ahead and wrap it up, man. I have nothing.
All right. So I guess first things, first things first here. Those of you wonderful listeners here that made it all the way through, tell us like who you're voting for. Because, like I said earlier, you don't have to tell anybody. You can even lie about it too. You can say you're voting for Ira because like you want to sound popular, and then vote for Prism because F Prism.
Yeah.
I will understand it completely. And also, please join our Discord because nobody is doing it. I can't tell if it's because Will's not doing the invite right or not or whatever.
Fair.
Yeah, but if you want to, you can join it. You can talk to us. You can talk to Ning. You can talk to Will here at midnight_WI11 because he really likes specifying that in all of the episodes so far for some reason.
Hey, actually, people do reach out to me sometimes, right?
Oh, they reach out to you, but they don't join the Discord?
Well, no, the Discord's a new thing, and I honestly started putting a link in there last week.
Is it in the description?
It will be.
Okay, yeah. See, this is what we gotta do. Put who you're voting for in the comments below. Also, click on the description to join the Discord.
Also, like and comment.
Link in the.
Rate 5 stars.
Yeah. All right.
And until next time, remember, I forget the point. Yeah. Every turn is a decision. Every decision is a story. And don't forget your damn Tunic Counter. Thank you for watching.
Peace.
Ning out.